Deputy Martin says that the Taoiseach is very passive on this issue, and I disagree. The Taoiseach is very active on this issue. The Taoiseach is for this treaty. He's made that clear. And it's an austerity treaty. And it's going to institutionalise what is now government policy. And yesterday the Taoiseach waxed lyrical about the need to involve the Oireachtas and the public in European affairs. And yet invariably, and I agree with Deputy Martin on this, invariably there's no respect shown to the Oireachtas. We pick up tittle-tat, we pick up leaks, we pick up spin, and we pick up media speculation. So, you know, the Taoiseach has said that his stated objective is to be the Taoiseach who retrieves Ireland's economic sovereignty. Now, this treaty is totally at odds with this objective. So I think the government needs to respect the Dáil and the people, and I would ask you to commit now to ensuring that the Minister of Finance reports back on his discussions today in Germany, and I ask you to hold a debate on this issue before you sign off on the final draft of the treaty. And on the issue of referendum, this isn't about getting legal advice. There's a matter of democratic principle here. If you're going to change the Constitution, and whether this is a constitutional or a legal change, it is about enshrining austerity. You need to give the people their say. As a Democrat, that's what you should do.
Thank you. Thank you, Deputy Taoiseach.
Well, Deputy Adams deliberately confuses the issue here. Since this government took office, we've made a policy of government that before any meetings of the European Council there is a discussion here, and also afterwards. And actually, next Tuesday, I intend to have the pre-council discussion here in the House, because I have to go to attend another economic forum on Wednesday and Thursday. So you'll have your opportunity to have your say here on Tuesday before the council meeting, and you'll have the text that will be concluded insofar as the officials are concerned, which should be available tomorrow. Obviously, Deputy, you have a very different view about Europe than the government have, and than most parties in the House have. You have opposed everything about Europe except when it suits you. And in this case, when the text is eventually decided upon by the political process, at that point, as head of government, I will ask for formal legal advice from the Attorney General. If that advice indicates that a referendum is necessary, then a referendum will be held. If it advises that a referendum is not necessary, then there's no need to have a referendum.
Gerry Adams.
Contrary to Taoiseach, I'm very pro-European Union. Republicanism.
Thank you.
Republicanism is a European concept in its first formation. But I'm against the type of European Union which has you giving authority over to the super states that German and French presidents and leaders would run our affairs. And I'm against austerity. And it's clear that the Sinn Féin party has put forward progressive policies, and we're asking you today to reconsider your support for this treaty. Because what is very clear, and no one should miss this point, you weren't cajoled, fooled, tricked, beaten into accepting this treaty. You're for it. You're for it as much as any German leader or any French leader. And why don't you, for example, Taoiseach, not just reconsider your support for the treaty? Why don't you argue for investment in jobs? Why don't you argue for investment in growth? Why don't you ask for a debt restructuring agreement? I mean, this is essentially about economic sovereignty, and you're giving away. And I've no doubt you're going to come into this House and you're going to come forward looking for support for this treaty, which will be about doing the very opposite to what you outlined as your objective. Instead of retrieving Ireland's economic sovereignty, you will be giving it away. So the question at the end of all of that, why don't you argue for investment in jobs and growth and for a debt restructuring agreement?
Thank you. Taoiseach.
I already made the point, Deputy Adams. It would be, in my view, much more preferable if all 27 countries of the European Union were involved in the process here of having of having a demonstration of fiscal discipline, and that when countries sign up to a programme, that they adhere to those programmes in order that every economy can make its way towards prosperity and expansion, and as a consequence jobs. Now, I listened to your party's proposals on many occasions. What you want to do essentially is raid the National Pension Reserve Fund and add on to that what's available from the European Investment Bank. And I heard your spokesman on finance saying that it was the government here that put forward the proposition in respect of the ESM. You are aware of the efforts that we have made here to have sufficient firewalls built up here to prevent contagion, and to have a situation where we go back and rely on the communautaire method that was always there, where the founding principles of the European Union of solidarity and trust and cooperation be inherent in what we do. Now, I've made the point to you that in respect of arguing for growth, for jobs and growth, in my discussions with the British Prime Minister the other day, because of our shared and the view shared by many other countries of the importance and the potential of the single market and its potential, that I agreed with the British Prime Minister that as two countries we would put forward a series of propositions to the Commission and to all our colleagues in the European Union, that the process whereby decisions are made and legislation actually drawn up from a European perspective have at its core the possibility of where growth and jobs can be created. So far from your argument of saying you never argue for these things, we're bringing it right to the centre of every activity that will be taken as part of the European Union.